The latest figures for migration to and from the UK have just been released by the Office for National Statistics. Well, they show that net migration to the UK is estimated to have halved from 860,000 in the year ending December 23 to 431,000 in the year ending December 2024. Well, Robert Cuff is the BBC's head of statistics, and he explained the significance of the drop.
Halving in 1 year, down from near record levels in 2023, down to, as you said, around 430,000 last year, is absolutely huge, and it will probably be welcomed by the government, who promised in their manifesto to bring migration down. But of course, many will point out at the same time that the wheels for these falls were set in motion a long time ago, and you can really see that when you start to break into the figures of who's coming, who's going. Because remember, this is a combination of the people who come to the UK to stay for a year, which has fallen, and the people who leave the UK for more than a year, which has also risen. So that double whack, if you want, has contributed to this really, really massive fall in migration.
So just to be clear, this is all legal migration? This is people coming here to work, or what exactly does this constitute?
So this covers everyone who's coming to the UK, so the immigration part, everyone who's coming to the UK for more than a year. So if you're doing a 9-month course, doesn't count. If you get a job and stay on for an extra 4 months, then you're in. And that could be for study, for work. It could be for asylum. It could be for humanitarian reasons. You could be coming on a small boat. But the biggest reason by a mile that people come to the UK is to study or to work. Those are the big drivers, and we've seen big falls in those numbers last year.
That's Robert Cuff there. There's more on that story, of course, on the BBC News website. Well, whatever the precise figures, some towns and cities have undergone changes as a result of immigration. Dan Johnson sent us this report from Coventry.
In a multicultural city, here's one street showcasing how Britain's welcomed people from around the world.
You got Afghans, Ghanaians, Nigerians, Indians, you name any person in the world, you can find it here.
Daniel's part of the Polish wave, arriving 2 decades ago.
Migration is always good. You know why? Because give the blood in the system.
You'd say people still need to be allowed to come here?
Of course. Not maybe the big numbers, but controlling that. You don't want to have the dinghies coming over and you don't know who's coming.
Coventry's grown faster than most cities, and now more than a quarter of residents here were born overseas. But not everyone is thriving.
I mean, I've taken today £7.50.
Jane is considering closing down.
It's all different nationalities, but some of them are not getting on with each other.
Really?
Yeah. A couple of shops up the road, they've been raided a couple of times.
By the police?
It's just not not a nice street anymore.
Born and raised in Australia.
Sarah moved here 25 years ago.
I feel like England is known for just being the handout society. The NHS and everything is just under strain or broken already, and it's not the NHS's fault. I just feel like there's just too many people.
So would you support stricter controls?
Yes,
make
definitely.
it harder for people to come here?
Definitely.
Even though you can?
Yeah.
You were allowed in?
Yeah, I was allowed. I know sometimes I feel a bit like, oh.
Some choose Coventry, others get placed here, often in hotels. There's one asylum seeker for every 170 residents. That's one of the highest ratios in the country.
You say you've lived here for a year?
Just down the street, we found Paul.
I was going to be homeless, yeah. I got an eviction notice.
Struggling to keep a roof over his head.
I got off nothing, just hit a blank wall.
There was no help?
There was no help, no.
How do you feel about that?
I feel really, really angry at the time. Really angry. You know, I thought, well, why are the people being prioritised? You know, and I've worked 40 years of my life, paid my taxes, paid my national insurance.
Then we met Mohammed.
Me, myself, I was an asylum seeker.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah. And
Where from?
I'm from Sudan.
Settled here for 20 years, but aware of others who are cheating the system.
There's some people from different countries, and in their countries they are good, so there's no problem in their countries. And they come and they ask asylum as a different nation. And those kind of people, I think that's like you're lying to the system.
Coventry's been proud to offer refugees sanctuary. Lorraine came from Malawi, initially as a student.
And I got 5 years refugee status. That was October 2022.
And Gloria left Ghana and was granted asylum here eventually.
I was refused 4 times.
Why were you so determined to stay here?
because I want to rebuild my life. Even though I was in that asylum process, I was helping the people of this country. I was volunteering because I'm a very hardworking person.
They've confronted prejudice and misinformation.
A woman just started, oh, you know what? I work every day, but asylum seekers are given a house, are given a car, they have given on benefit. I said, what? I was an asylum seeker. I work. I'm not on benefit. I've not been given a car. I've not even been given a house. I rent. I pay now. So it is based on politics that people exaggerate and they say migrants are your enemy. I don't have anything. Even if you get rid of me, it will not change your life.
Thumbs up, well done.
Schools are a front line of integration, and more than half the pupils in this city are from ethnic minority families. There's a challenge of language and growing numbers. Here, a temporary classroom is helping, but they're not alone in trying to work out how many more will need to be accommodated in future. Dan Johnson, BBC News, Coventry.